Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Gironca and today I will start a brand new series of a brand new game. Yes, so finally Hearts of Iron 4 has come out. Well, technically that's not true. It hasn't come out for everyone yet. It has come out for the gaming press and lucky YouTubers like me who got the chance to obtain a preview copy of the game. And officially I'm gonna say thank you to Paradox for giving me that opportunity to play the game prior to release and have a look at it earlier. And also I guess I should say thanks to all of you guys who've supported the channel over the last 1.5 years, because well, you're the reason that I've actually been considered to receive such a preview copy, so that's really cool. I also have something for you guys in return, but I will talk about that once the game has officially been released, so you're gonna have to be a little bit patient. Now, I hope you guys will like that. I'm not sure, but I think you will do. Anyways, without further ado, let's actually get this series started. And I have, well, I should mention, I guess, I don't really have too much experience with it as of yet. Of course, how could I? I've only played around with 3 nations so far. I've started a tutorial as Italy. I did a 4-year campaign as Germany, which was my longest or my biggest experience so far. And I have had a look at a smaller nation, Austria. And what I've gathered from my experience so far is that I definitely want to start in the earlier bookmark, because that allows me to have a couple of years of building up to the Great War, because that's kind of important, and it also gives you some time, or I guess me some time, to get used to the whole interface and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to start during the first scenario right here. And also, I have gathered from my experience as Austria that it's probably more fun to start off as one of the bigger nations. Now, I have already played as Italy. As I said, that was the tutorial, and I really like Italy. Italy is fun because you start off at war immediately. It's not a big war. You're guaranteed to win that one, but it's still fun. You get to experience all kinds of things immediately, which is really cool. But I don't want to do Italy again. I just want to do Germany. And of course, you know, there's a lot of people who will play Germany as their first series, and there's going to be probably a buttload of videos already. But if anyone has a reason to play as Germany, then it's going to be me, because I'm German. So, you know, there you go. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play as Germany, and also, I kind of like it because I already have 4 years of experience with it, so I feel like I might not make the same mistakes again. Now, I was also considering maybe the Soviet Union or the United States, but I think these countries are just so huge that feels a bit intimidating. And I don't know, France and United Kingdom, I don't know if I really want to deal with Navy too much at the moment. So I think Germany is fine for now, and we'll go forward. Now, I should probably mention before we go in here that I'm no expert at all. Of course not. So I'm also no expert, you know, on Hearts of Iron 3. I have played that game a little bit, but I don't really have any valuable knowledge that I can kind of use for Hearts of Iron 4. So don't really expect any world conquest right off the bat. I mean, I obviously will try to do that, but we'll see. Now, one thing I usually do with my series is obviously that I roleplay, but I think roleplaying as Hitler may not be the best thing to do. So we're going to do things a little bit different, but still we'll kind of try to be in that role. I think I'm going to be playing more as like a beaten down Germany that wants to get their things back. I feel like that's what I'm more going to play as, not necessarily going to be too much on the whole, well, fascist, I guess. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Actually, it doesn't matter. I think we're just gonna figure it out. So as you can see, there's several difficulty levels. I think I'm just gonna leave it with regular, which is, I guess, the normal difficulty. I'm not gonna play Iron Man mode. It's just gonna make the game a little bit slow, and I don't want to go for achievements anyways. Even though, actually, yeah, it's probably not even they're probably not even unlocked yet, so it doesn't matter. And you could play with the historical AI focus, and I've done that in my first campaign. But I kind of want to go without that for now, because basically what happens is that you can kind of predict what's gonna happen, and that makes it easier. almost too easy in my opinion. So I think we're going to play without that. It's going to be a little bit more random, and I hope that is interesting for you to watch as well. So yeah, let's get this game started. And first of all, one thing I like is that they added this little clock or this little watch from Victoria. I've always liked that. Victoria 3 was, not Victoria 3 obviously, but Victoria 2 was my first my first Paradox game that I've ever played. So I don't know why that watch is so important to me, but I like it. But yeah, so there we are as Germany. Now the loading in actually took quite a while, but that's not too bad. Now of course we start out with the demilitarized Rhineland zone right there, but this is probably going to be the first thing that we're going to fix, is to, well, remilitarize that one. But yeah, let's have a quick look at all the things that we can do. Now first off, the thing I just talked about was probably on national focus. So there's a couple of things you can do, and one over here is already called Rhineland. So basically it just takes 70 days to research this one. I think each one of these foci that you pick will take 70 days. So yeah, that's fine. But you can, you know, from the beginning, you can only choose from these 4, and then they will unlock other, other national foci, depending on, well, the requirements, certain requirements that you have to fulfill. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to start with the Rhineland. It just seems like the best idea, even though this is kind of the historical thing to do. And I said I kind of want to go alternative here, but yeah, whatever. We're going to go with that first. And I think afterwards, actually, let's have a quick look at this once more. I think afterwards, I probably want to go with the Reichsautobahn. And then we're going to go down this path, because we need to get our industry up in order to actually be able to wage a world war. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that later as well. So yeah, a couple of things we can do. Obviously, our the Nationalist Party is in charge, 60%. That's pretty good. I'm actually wondering why the Communist Party has as many votes as the Socialist Party. That is not the way I remember it. I think the Socialists had a little bit more. I think it was more like 30 to 10. Not that it really matters, but still. In any case, we are actually the leader of one of the 3 factions in the game. So obviously there is the Axis. So far we're the only one, well, in that. And then there's the Allies, currently led by Great Britain. And then there is the Comintern, or I guess the Socialist movement, or the Communist movement, led by the Soviet Union. Actually, they already have people in there. Interesting. So we're the only ones, I guess, without anyone in our coalition or faction so far, because British have all of their colonies. All right, that's not too bad. We're gonna get people in time. But let's go back to the default map. And let's have a look at what we do. We do start off with a couple of troops, very nice, but we're definitely going to have to build some more. But first off, let's start with some more research, and I definitely want to start with our industry, because that's, as I said, is very important. So let's start with some basic machine tools, and we're also going to start with some construction speed. Construction speed, because we do want to construct some new factories, because that is important. And we could also go for the oil plant, and we are lacking oil if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we need oil and rubber, so this would actually not be too bad, but I don't think I'm gonna pick that one. I think we're rather gonna go for land doctrine. That could be interesting. We already have the mobile warfare and researched, and I guess that's just gonna be the path we go down. Naval doctrine, we have trade interdiction. Okay, that makes sense. Air doctrine, we have battlefield foot. I really like that. I would have, if I would have been any country, I probably would have chosen these things. It just seems to be, it seems to fit my personal playstyle. I like that. I like having combined forces in the sense that they all support the ground. I'm a ground man, I guess. But yeah, industry, yeah, we've had that. But was one research, damn it, I don't remember what it was, that actually increases research speed, I think. But I don't remember what it was. That is kind of embarrassing. Oh well, I guess we're just gonna have to start with something else. We could go for some more support weapons. Yes. Or could we go, we have already tanks researched, very good. Artillery, I don't really think we need artillery that much. Land doctrine, not too interested. What am I gonna actually go for? I think engineering was it. Right, there we go. That's what it was. That's what I wanted to click. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna research that one, because that is gonna make the research time overall faster. That's gonna help us out in the long run. And last but not least, I think we will definitely start off with the support weapons. It's just gonna make our troops, my infantry, a little bit faster. I think that's probably a good idea. Although, no, you know what? We'll do that. Yeah, let's give ourselves some support weapons. Now, we have 3 types of factories that we can utilize. So we have these civilian factories, we have military factories, and I guess we have military docks, which are able to produce military units, but only, obviously, naval units. So yeah, let's actually start off and utilize our civilian factories to build some more civilian factories, because that is going to help us out later on. And I kind of feel like this southern border is going to probably be safe. There's no one who's going to be really attacking us, but this is kind of where it gets tricky. This could all get attacked by the French or the British, so I think I'd rather have, I'd rather build up my industry over here, where it's a little bit safer. So I think this would be maybe the best thing to build it here, or let's actually build it up here first. Yeah. All right, we can build up to, wow, we can build up 4. Okay, that seems to be not entirely all of our, that did not use up all of our civilian factories. So I guess we could start and build one synthetic refinery, because that is going to give us some oil and rubber, which we desperately need. And I think we're going to build that one up maybe over here. Sure, yeah, let's put that up over here. I guess it doesn't really matter too much at the moment. We're just going to do that. Alright, so our 3 military factories. So we are currently producing infantry equipment, support equipment, artillery, light tanks, motorized. I definitely want to go a little bit heavier on the motorization, but that means we need even more oil. We don't really have the oil for that. That's kind of it's kind of too bad. We definitely want to go for some more submarines. We have actually only one more factory, or one more naval dockyard to do that. So, and how many more? We have 20 more military factories. Now, what do we need? Let's have a quick look at our logistics. It doesn't actually, we don't really need anything right now. But I do want to go, what I personally like, I like being mobile. And that's why I think I want to go for motorized infantry. Yeah, so let's go maybe, go full ham. That's going to be 8. How about that? That'd be really cool. Then I guess we can go for fighters, because fighters are kind of important. We want to have, although I do, how about we do it like this, and then we have one more factory. No, actually, that's all of them. All right, that's fine. I think that's good. Yeah, we'll go for that for now. I do want to have, a good air force. Okay, yeah. Now that obviously means we are now lacking a lot of resources. Look how much oil we lack. So basically what you're supposed to do now is trade. So that's easy. You just go to the trade map and then you click on the resource that you need. For example, oil. And then you'll see which kind of person has oil. So you can click and trade with them. And that basically, we're basically trading our civilian factories for the strategic resources. So that means the construction that I've just started are going to be a little bit slower, but I guess that's fine. So, okay, the United States are already trading with Japan, but they could give us 40 of this. I think, you know what, that's fine. We'll trade with the United States for now. That's fine. Alright, yeah, send that offer. And what else do we need? We do need rubber. Okay, so I think the Netherlands do have a lot of that. Yeah, so let's trade with the Netherlands for that. 24, how much do we need? Right, 17. Alright, that looks good. Awesome. So, that all out of the way, I think we could slowly but surely start going forward. But before we do that, we actually need to have our troops train a little bit. Now, let's have a quick look. Most of these guys are already regulars. You cannot, at least I don't think you can train your troops higher than that. They will give you some army experience from training, and they will also level up, but the highest level they can get from training is regular, level 3. So let's see if we have someone who's a little bit lower level. It doesn't look like it. Alright, well I guess, yeah, I guess we have all veterans. Alright, that's fine then. So let's see. I guess in this case we're just gonna have to recruit some more, and I think we're just gonna go for some infantry. Although, no, actually I do want to have some. I want to have this. Now this is our mechanized infantry, if I'm not mistaken, and our Panzer division also has some mechanized infantry in there as well, or motorized infantry. Yeah, and this one. Now let's have a quick look at this one. You are all motorized infantry. Okay, cool. You have some artillery with you and some engineers. Okay, and recon as well. I think that's kind of what we're gonna go for now. And we will, I guess, add, I don't know, 3 units of each. Although I do like tanks a little bit more. Let's go like 5. Maybe 3. Yeah, like this. Alright. And we do want our panzers to be in Brandenburg, and we want to have our mechanized infantry or motorized infantry maybe in Saxony. That's fine, or Saxon, I guess you could say as well. Now that means we are still lacking resources, but that should go away as soon as we go forward a little bit. Let's go a little bit faster. Okay, so this trade deal has been accepted, so we are now no longer lacking any strategic resources, which is very good. I love that. We also have our manpower overview right there. Lovely. Okay, so basically 70 days from now we will have the chance to remilitarize the Rhineland. So I guess France has the chance to kind of object that. The Rhineland has been demilitarized since the end of the Great War, the First World War, but this insult shall stand no longer. Germany is a sovereign nation and is free to move troops anywhere within her borders. Well, we certainly think so, but we'll see what France has to say about this. They might actually, I think there's a slight possibility, and I think this possibility is even greater now that I've turned off the historical AI. There's a slight possibility that France actually refuses us to allow to remilitarize the Rhineland, and they might actually declare war. So that would be terrible. So I think what we will do in order to prevent any of their attacks, we are going to create an army right here and right there. So let's assign these guys. We're gonna call it our Heeresgruppe West. There you go. Oh damn, I actually have a typo in there. Anyway, so yeah, this is our Western Army, and we're gonna give not the Desert Fox, we're gonna give you a rather skilled commander. Manstein, you are leading. No, we don't need you. A trickster, it would be good, but you are. I don't have a Panzer division here, so I think I'm just gonna give it to Fedor von Bock. All right, yeah, he's a pretty skilled commander. All right, we'll give you command of our Heeresgruppe West, and we will set up a front line right here at the border of France. So basically, these guys are now going to move over here and protect the border. So let them do that. We're going to execute our plan. They will do that on their own. Awesome. And then we could also recruit a couple, or we could create some other armies as well, but I don't think we will do that just yet. Alright, things are looking quite fine. So let's move on forward as well. Good. Whew. Now, the only reason I was really thinking about maybe starting off as Italy was because, as I said, Italy starts off in a war against Ethiopia. And it's really cool to see because, as I said, it's an easy war. You can easily win it. And, you know, it just kind of lets you show off the whole battle plan thing, which to me is like one of the best features of Hearts of Iron 4. Like, of course, there's a lot of people who are fans of min-maxing and all that kind of stuff, but as someone who, as I said, rather role-plays his campaigns, this tool is so great because you can really feel like not even a general, you really feel like the ruler of a country who, you know, has these plans, makes these plans, and tells his generals to do that. And if they fuck up, well, they do, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And I like that. I really like that. This is amazing. And obviously, there's always the chance, even with the this I guess mechanic. There's always the possibility for the player to take care of each unit themselves. So, you know, there should not really be anyone to be too disappointed about this feature. I personally, as I said, I'm gonna be using that a lot. I love drawing battle plans. I've also been thinking about maybe if I already want to draw out a battle plan. So basically, the first battle plan I've drawn out was, well, the battle plans I've been drawing out so far, they've always included kind of avoiding attacking across rivers. So basically, I would, create an army right here that would then kind of just move forward along this river right here. So, and also, would try and take over Danzig from this side rather from this side, because then you don't take the river penalty. But I guess we'll find that out later on in the series as well, if we actually get that far and don't get killed off before that. That would be terrible. That would be terrible indeed. But yeah, I think we should actually have the possibility to go forward a little bit faster here. Simply because there's not too much going on right now. I guess I could put some more people in armies, but I don't think there's any need for that right now. Now, one thing I am actually a little bit sad about is that it's great that you can rename your armies, but you can't rename your generals. Now, I understand why a lot of people don't want that feature, because obviously these generals are the historic generals, and it's kind of important to have them. Like there's some really big names like Erwin Rommel, the Desert Fox, or the submarine guy, Karl Dönitz. So they're obviously very important, and I wouldn't probably rename them myself, but some of the, less important people, I would personally like to replace with people from the comment section. And since that's not possible, I think maybe what we can do is that you guys can just give me a name for an army, right? For one of such. Actually, I don't know. Can I don't think. No, I can't rename divisions. At least I don't think so. Maybe I can. I'm gonna have to check that, but I don't think I can right here. But I definitely can rename armies, as you can see. So if you want to be part of the German Reich, by the way, not Reich, it's Reich. Part of the German Reich, if you want to be part of our armies, then please leave a name suggestion in the comment section, and I will see if I can actually name one of these armies after you. That'd be cool. I would actually enjoy that quite a bit, because the reason behind this is very simple. This will make me personally attached to these armies, and that means I'm going to be a little bit more careful when fighting, because I won't just send them in and let them die. I will actually feel like, oh, this is something that's important. There's actually lives depending on that, because once that army dies, then I've basically lost a viewer, which would be terrible. So yeah, I think that's a really cool thing to do. I do hope that there's going to be a mod or something that changes it so that you can actually have the option to rename your rulers as well, or your generals, I guess. But yeah, also one thing I should mention is the political power. That's a feature that allows you to modify your government. And well, in the beginning it's kind of important. Well, I guess it's important later game as well, but in the beginning you're kind of starved for these political powers. Now you can do a lot of things with this. You can also go into diplomacy, improve relations, and I'm guessing I should do that, but for now I'm basically waiting for, I think 150 is the thing. Yeah, 150 is what you need, and then you can get some advisors here, which is really cool. So we can get Heinrich Himmler, the Prince of Terror, or Joseph Goebbels. Now he's going to be very important because he can actually increase the support of the fascism in our country, which I haven't actually found out what this is important for. I mean, obviously it kind of makes sense, but I haven't actually found the mechanic that makes it important. But yeah, I don't know. Still, it's a cool thing. I'm basically just picking him because, well, it's Goebbels. You have to have him. Now, interesting enough, you could also pick a communist supporter like Ernst Thälmann. But obviously we're not going to do that, but I guess that's how you could try and change I guess, the fascist Germany to a communist Germany, which is going to be interesting for maybe a future campaign. I definitely think that here in Hearts of Iron 4, I'm going to be playing several nations several times, especially Germany. Germany just has so much potential, so many possibilities you can do. So yeah, I'm really liking this quite a lot, but I definitely want to start off kind of more historical approach. But I guess what I was trying to say in the beginning, in the starting screen, I don't want to go down the whole purge road. I don't even think you can do that. I don't even think there's any concentration camps in this game, and I'm glad it's not. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gone down that route, but we definitely will try and take over some of these lands. And let's have actually a quick look at yeah, I don't know why I closed that just now. Let's have a quick look at our focus here, because there's several possibilities we have. So obviously after we have the remilitarized the Rhineland, and we actually might want to go a little bit faster again, then we can obviously annex Austria, which is going to be glorious. And once we've done that, there's so many things we can do. We can demand stuff from Czechoslovakia, we can gain our claims on Poland, and demand Danzig, and other things as well. We can even demand Slovenia from Yugoslavia. So this is really cool. I definitely want to go down this route, but before we do this, I think it's more important that we will go this path, just so that we get our industry up first. Seems kind of important. But yeah, so how far are we away? Still a couple of days. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna be ending this first episode here. It was just kind of an introductory episode, I guess. And yeah, I'll come back next time when we're hopefully ready to pick a new national focus. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you guys next time.